Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I thought I would show you a quick yoga flow that will help open up your hips. This is something that I love to do, so you're going to want to start in a forward fold. I like to bend my knees at first and really get into my hamstrings a little bit more. And then once I'm in my forward fold, I'll go ahead and grab my toes, kind of use that as leverage to pull my chest closer to my thighs. And I like to just hang out there and breathe, no stress on my neck, let it loose, let it hang, and then I'm just gonna pedal out my hamstrings and do a couple twists. So right now I have my left knee bent a lot, my right leg is straight, and I'm twisting through my chest up to my right side. So I'm not, and then I switch, but I'm not just using my arm and my shoulder, I'm using my chest to really get that rotation and the opening in my chest as well as in the back of my leg. So I really just like to hang out in twists and in my forward fold for a while. I give myself a few deep breaths, give yourself a nice big hug. Really for me, my hip flexors and my hamstrings are chronically tight. And I feel like we all struggle with that. It's something that I get often. So I thought this would be a really helpful video for you guys. We're gonna go ahead and jump through our chaturanga. You could totally do this on your knees if you wanted to. Upward facing dog, another favorite pose of mine. I like to take my time in here, kind of look over my shoulders, really stretch out my back before I go into my first down dog. Now when you're in down dog, you certainly can bend your knees as well if you feel like you need to. I'm lifting my right leg straight up to the sky, trying to keep my hips square. And bending my knee and just reaching back, really opening up through the hips before I step it forward into that low lunge. You can see I'm just circling my hips. I really don't have any counting that I'm doing, any specific number I'm trying to hit. I'm just really moving into the parts of my body that are tight, my hips and my hamstrings, before I go ahead and drop that back knee down. And I'm gonna get on my forearms. I'm gonna roll onto this edge of my right foot and push my knee away with my right leg. It's really gonna open up my hips, and then I'll reach back with my right arm and grab my left foot. You're really gonna feel that deeply in your left hip flexor. Take as much time as you need in these poses. I'm really just showing you guys this flow to show you what I do to get into my hip flexors and my hamstrings. I'm in that low lunge and I'm just doing a little mini back bend. Again, you're gonna feel that a lot in your hip flexors. So if you're a beginner, you don't have to take it as deep as I am. Now I'm gonna flex my front foot, which is my right foot, and I'm gonna bend forward, again, another forward fold, but by flexing my foot, I'm also gonna feel that stretch in my calf. Okay, we're back in a runner's lunge, and again, I'm just doing a simple spinal twist, so my left hand is on the mat, my right arm is up in the air, and then I'm gonna go into crescent pose. Take a little breath before I go into my my one-legged splits. Standing split. I should say warrior 3 into my standing split. Once I have my balance, I really am working on these rotations. The key is to keep your top leg in line with your hip. So you can see my foot, my left foot is still a little too high, but I'm working on that. And then I'm just gonna bend down into my standing split and try to get my chest close to my thighs. So it's not as much about getting your top leg, in this case my left leg, up in the air as much as it is trying to get my chest toward my bottom leg. And I'm just gonna reach over, stretch, and now I'm rolling onto the right side, doing a side plank. You always have to add those abs in. I like to do it as much as I can. And this is another great stretch. Not only are you working your abs by dipping your hips and lifting them back up, but it's just really gonna open up your hips. And you get a nice little ab workout. This is gonna be a total core move as well. So you're just gonna, you really wanna make sure that you push up through your hips and not through your hands, okay? Before you go back into down dog, and we're gonna repeat everything on the same side. bends, I encourage you, no matter what your level is, to do a little bit of research and work on your back bends. They're great for opening your chest, as well as strengthening your lower back, opening up your hips, all the things that I'm still struggling with. For me, it's a little bit of like a mental block, I think, just going backwards. It's the same as going upside down. So I take my time. I go into child's pose when I need it. I'm also really working on other inversions like headstands and handstands. So right now I am just doing dolphin pose and just practicing by either just lifting my leg up and down, doing very light hops. Most of you know that I have a shoulder injury, so I'm really just working on my form and getting as comfortable as I can before I actually attempt to go up in the air. And my Bose headphones are just, they never stay in my ears. I have a hard time with those. If you guys have any good Bluetooth headphones that you like, will you leave them in the comments section below? Or maybe if you use AirPods, will you let me know if they stay in your ears when you're working out? That's something that I really am interested in. Okay, butterfly pose, another favorite of mine. Not only is this going to work your inner thighs and really help open that area up, it's a great release in your low back. So you just want to let your head drop. You want to stretch as far as you can. To modify this, just bring your feet further away from your hips. Okay. And of course, just going back into some more deep inner thigh working and stretching. I'm just going to stretch over each side. I like to bring my bottom arm down and push it out the opposite thigh. It really helps me get that rotation. So not only am I getting a great stretch in my inner thighs and my hamstrings, but I'm also getting a nice stretch in my obliques. And then we're just going to go into a nice forward fold. Go as low as you can. Flex your feet. That's going to protect your knees and it's going to keep the integrity of the pose. And then just use your hands to help guide you back up. This is another great hip flexor stretch. So I'm bringing my right ankle across my left knee and I'm just using the leverage of the top of my body, my chest, to bring it towards my knee. When you're doing this stretch, I'm not sure if you can tell, but my foot is flexed. So on this side, my left foot is flexed, and that's going to keep my knee safe, but it's also really going to help intensify that move. And then I'm just going to roll my shoulders and go into my meditation. I like to meditate for anywhere between 3 to 20 minutes, depending on the amount of time I have, and it really just helps center me and get my day started off on the right note. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, let me know. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye-bye.